Good morning, everyone. It's a chilly morning here in Dallas, Texas, and today we are driving down to San Marcos, Texas for a dive authorization course in Spring Lake and to meet GUE San Marcos and Austin area. So super excited for today, and I'll see you there. So we started a trip with a 3 hours and 40 minutes drive to Spring Lake in San Marcos, Texas. This morning there's a few traffic in Dallas area, but it's a very beautiful morning here. Our first stop is Dive Shop San Marcos, where I choose to rent my twin set tanks. The shop is really beautiful with all the modern and vintage gears, along with Halcyon Dive Systems gear. We also got a new vector fins in the house. And of course, we have to meet some dive shop pets. Today we have a duck. And also a super adorable furry friend. Woo. Next, I load the tanks into my car and assemble my gears onto the tank, which includes this beautiful Halcyon custom next gen wing and also the new Halcyon carbon fiber backplates. After that, I put in my regulators to check the pressure in the tank before heading out. It's only a 10 minutes drive from the dive shop to the Spring Lake. Look how beautiful this place is. Today the temperature of the air is around 8 degrees Celsius, but luckily the water stays constant at 22 degrees Celsius or 72 Fahrenheit all year. Look how clear the water is. After checking out the lake, we checked in at the Spring Lake diving office where we meet the DSC instructor Scott. We do a few paperwork and a dive briefing. Since we had already completed the academic module and quiz remotely a few days before the class, all that was left to do was dive. We began by assembling and staging our gear at the entry point to the training area. The in-water portion kicked off with a dive assessment. First, we navigated through buoyancy rings at different depths, then retrieved a dumbbell, adjusted our buoyancy, and transferred it between platforms. It was a great way to test our buoyancy control while managing changes in both depth and weight, which is a crucial skill to ensure that this critically endangered habitat remains unharmed. After the assessment, we toured the entire Spring Lake. The underwater scenery was simply breathtaking. Crystal clear water reviewed everything from an ancient petrified trees in the ossified forest to fields of bubbling sand at the Cream of Wheat area. We passed through diversion springs where a high pressure spring bubbles up beneath you. Pretty cool, right? And we got the Catfish Hotel, home to the albino catfish. Following a pipe past the Shiner Arch site, we reached the lake's deepest point, a deep hole, with a tiny cave entrance where the water rushes out. This place just keeps surprising me. The biodiversity here is extraordinary. Can you spot the San Marcos salamander in this video? It's right here, along with the San Marcos gambusia, fountain daughters, spotted gars, turtles, and thriving aquatic plants. Exploring this ecosystem reminded me how rare and valuable it truly is. Diving in Spring Lake wasn't just a training or a fun diving, it was truly a privilege. Hi, just finished a DSC course in Spring Lake and just got out, got changed, and got dried. The course is awesome. We did a checkout dive to test out our buoyancy and the ability to change the buoyancy with the added weights. And also we do a tour of the lake, which is doing a swim around the lake and introducing different biomes and also demonstrating the skills and the duty as a volunteer to maintain the habitat. So I'll come back here tomorrow with Luke and Shangfei, which is the GUE Austin and San Marcos area. We will do more dive in the lake and I'll see you guys there. We began our dive on a hazy morning with temperatures hovering around 8 to 10 degrees Celsius or 45 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Since volunteer dive sites are assigned based on availability and preference, today we are not entering through the usual training area, but from an entry point called Sycamore Point, located at the far end of the lake. It takes a bit of a hike to get there, but it's always worth it. Our assigned site for the day was Deep Hole. Upon descending, we visited the small cave entrance where warm spring water rushes out, a fascinating natural feature. We were even greeted by a curious largemouth bass Above us, one of the Spring Lake's iconic glass-bottom electric boats silently floated by, offering a visitor a glimpse into the world we are exploring below. During the dive, we also spotted more fish and even a few adorable turtles. By passing the dive authorization course at Spring Lake, we are officially considered volunteers. Our mission? To help maintain the health of this delicate ecosystem by clearing vegetation that clogs the spring outlets and removing invasive species. It's a bit of a guilty pleasure, stirring up the sediments and making a mess in the name of conservation. In this footage, you can see Luke bundling invasive hornwort before sending it to the surface. These plants retain the air bubbles really well, so the method is made simple by only using a blast of gas from our primarily second stage regulator. Once the bundles reach the top, the Spring Lake staff collects them periodically with a harvester to dispose of them properly. We wrapped up the dive with a fun little photo shoot and surfaced at our designated exit points, summing up another day beneath the surface of this incredible lake. Spring Lake in San Marcos, Texas is one of the oldest continuously inhabited sites in North America. For over 12,000 years, humans have been drawn to its crystal clear spring waters. It's now a protected research and education center managed by the Meadows Center for Water and the Environment. Inside the exhibit hall, I explored the interactive aquarium showcasing native species like the spotted gar, San Marcos salamander, and other fascinating creatures that live in this unique spring ecosystem. It was eye-opening to see how carefully preserved this environment really is. Just outside, I walked the wetlands boardwalk, lush with native plants and buzzing with wildlife. And I learned that Spring Lake is also the starting point for the Texas Safari, known as the world's toughest canoe and kayak race, stretching 260 miles down the San Marcos and Guadalupe rivers to the finish line in Seadrift. I could not end my visit without the iconic glass-bottom boat tour. As we drifted silently across the surface, I stared out into the underwater world below, with the ancient springs, swaying plants, and lively marine ecosystem below. Along the shoreline, I spotted a great blue heron standing like a sentinel amongst the reeds. Spring Lake is more than just beautiful. It's a living reminder of the delicate balance between nature, history, and conservation, one that we must protect and preserve for generations to come. I want to express a huge gratitude to Spring Lake and the Meadows Center for Water and the Environment for offering an incredible dive authorization course. Special thanks to Scott Cameron for leading an outstanding class and dive program that cultivates a deep sense of environmental stewardship. Thank you to Matthew Bessler for being an incredible dive master. Your help with the gear logistics, the lake tour, and even lending your own equipment when mine failed made a huge difference in my experience. And of course, heartfelt thanks to Shangfei and Luke for inviting me to join the dives and showing me around both the lake and the volunteer responsibilities. It was a privilege for me to dive along such passionate and skillful GUE teammates. If you're a certified diver and curious about the Spring Lake, I highly encourage you to learn more about the dive authorization course. It's a rare opportunity to explore this protected environment, sharpen your skills, and give back to an ecosystem that needs our care. I can assure you, it's an experience that you won't ever forget. Thank you, and see you in the next video.